At my birthday dinner, my family raised a toast and smiled. Under my plate was a document with my name highlighted. I finished my meal before I decided what to do next. The restaurant was one of those places that tries too hard. Exposed brick, Edison bulbs, a chalkboard menu with drinks nobody's grandmother ever heard of. My daughter Emma had made the reservation 3 weeks in advance, which should have been my first clue. Emma doesn't plan anything 3 weeks out unless there's a reason. To Dad, she said, lifting her glass. 56 years of keeping everything running. Her husband Derek raised his glass too. To family, he added. I smiled, lifted my glass, took a sip of wine that cost more than my first car payment. The server had placed my entree in front of me with that careful reverence they teach in hospitality school. Seared salmon, microgreens, some kind of foam I didn't recognize. When I cut into the fish, the plate shifted slightly. Something underneath. I kept eating. Took my time. Emma was talking about her job, something about quarterly projections and stakeholder meetings. Derek nodded along, adding details she forgot. They had the rhythm of people who'd rehearsed. The salmon was good, overpriced, but good. I finished the vegetables, took another sip of wine. Emma's smile was getting tighter at the corners. How's work, Dad? Derek asked. Still keeping those hospital supply chains running? Pretty much, I said. Same as always. Ever think about retirement? Emma leaned forward slightly. You've been doing this for, 30 years? 28, I said. But who's counting? I set down my fork, moved the plate to the side. The document was folded once, white paper, crisp. I picked it up slowly. Emma and Derek were both watching me now, trying not to be obvious about it. What's this? I asked. Just something we wanted you to look at, Emma said. Her voice had that careful lightness people use when they're trying not to spook you. Derek and I have been talking to a financial advisor about estate planning, making sure everything's organized. I unfolded the paper. Power of attorney amendment, my name at the top, Emma's name in the assignee field, a signature line highlighted in yellow at the bottom. We thought it would be easier, Derek said. You know, just in case anything happens. Medical decisions, financial stuff, so nobody has to scramble. I read it again. Slower this time. The date format at the top was wrong. Small thing, easy to miss. It referenced a trust account in a format I hadn't used in 6 months. The kind of detail someone would get from an old document, not a current one. That's thoughtful, I said. Emma exhaled. Not quite a sigh of relief, but close. We can go over the details later. Tonight's supposed to be fun. Sure, I said. I folded the document and slipped it into my jacket pocket. Thanks for thinking of it. The manager appeared at our table. Young guy, beard, vest. How is everything this evening? Perfect, Emma said quickly. Wonderful, he said. We have a birthday dessert for you, sir. On the house. He brought out a chocolate thing with a candle. They sang. I blew it out. Made a wish I didn't have. Emma cut the dessert into 4 pieces. We ate in comfortable silence. Derek checked his phone once. Emma shot him a look. He put it away. I should get going, I said after the plates were cleared. Work tomorrow. On your birthday? Emma made a face. Come on, Dad. I like the routine, I said. Outside, the air was cool. October in the city. Emma hugged me goodbye. Derek shook my hand. Their car was parked in the garage. Mine was on the street, 3 blocks over. I told them not to wait. I walked slow, felt the weight of the document in my pocket, thought about the date format, about the account number that didn't exist anymore. They'd made a mistake, a small one, the kind of mistake people make when they're working from old information, when they think they're ahead of you. I got to my car, sat in the driver's seat, didn't start the engine right away. The thing about logistics work is you learn to see systems, how things connect, where the weak points are. I'd spent 28 years making sure medical supplies got where they needed to go, on time, Every time. You don't do that without understanding how people think, what they overlook, what they assume. Emma and Derek assumed I wasn't paying attention, that I was just steady, reliable dad, too boring to notice when things didn't add up. They were wrong. I started the car, drove home through streets I knew by heart. My house was dark except for the porch light. Claire's car was in the driveway. She'd be upstairs, probably reading. Inside, I hung my jacket on the hook by the door. Went to my office. Small room, corner of the house, window facing the backyard. I kept my files in a cabinet with a lock nobody else had the key to. I pulled out the folder labeled Estate Planning, Current. Compared the document from dinner to the one in my files. Different. Not just the date format, the account numbers, the authorization language, even the notary seal reference. Someone had pulled an old version, tried to update it, got enough right to look legitimate, missed the details. I sat back in my chair, looked at the clock. 10:30. Not too late to call. I dialed Claire's number. She answered on the second ring. "You're home," she said. "Just got here. How was dinner?" "Interesting," I said. "Can you come down to my office for a minute?" "Give me 2." I heard her footsteps on the stairs. She appeared in the doorway, still dressed, reading glasses pushed up into her hair. We'd been married 32 years. She could read my face better than anyone. "What happened?" she asked. I handed her the document. She scanned it. Frowned. "This isn't current." "No," I said. "Where'd you get it?" "Under my plate, at dinner." Claire looked up. Her expression didn't change, but something shifted behind her eyes. "Emma?" "And Derek." She read it again. "They want control." "Looks like it. How old is this version?" 8 months, I said. "Maybe 9. So they don't know about the changes. They don't know about a lot of things." Claire set the document on my desk. She pulled out the other chair, the one I used for extra storage, and moved the stack of binders to the floor. Sat down. "What are you going to do?" she asked. "Haven't decided yet." "You could call Emma, tell her you caught it." "I could. But you won't." "Not yet." Claire studied me. She had that look she gets when she's running scenarios in her head. Former project manager, 12 years at a consulting firm before she retired early. She thought 3 moves ahead without trying. "If you call them now," she said slowly, "they know you're watching. They back off. Try again later, more carefully." "Right. But if you wait..." "They keep going," I said. "Make more mistakes. And you document everything." "That's the idea." Claire was quiet for a moment. "When did you change the accounts?" 2 weeks ago." "Before or after they started asking about estate planning?" "After." She nodded. "You saw this coming." "Something," I said. "Not this exactly, but something." "They rehearsed tonight," Claire said. "At dinner. Did you notice?" "Yeah." Emma's tells are terrible. She gets that tight smile when she's nervous. Derek checks his phone. He did that once. "Which means he's worried about timing," Claire said. "They're on a schedule." I hadn't thought about that. I should have. "There's something else," I said. I pulled out another folder. This one had bank statements, transaction logs, a printed email chain. "I called compliance 3 days ago. Routine check. Asked if anyone had requested information about my accounts. And someone did, 2 weeks ago. Gave my name, my account numbers, said they were my financial advisor." "Emma?" "The request came from Derek's office number." Claire leaned back. "They're not just planning, they're already moving." "Looks like it?" "Do you know what they're after?" "Control," I said. "Probably the house, definitely the retirement accounts, maybe the business investments." "Why now?" "Don't know," I said. "But they think they have time. They think I don't notice." Claire picked up the document again, read through it one more time. "This is sloppy," she said. "They're rushing. People rush when they're scared." or greedy. Sometimes both. She set the paper down. You need a plan. I need to know what they're planning, I said. What's next? Who else is involved? The lawyer, Claire said. They'll need a lawyer to make this stick. Right. And they'll need you to sign something current. Eventually. This document doesn't work anymore. So they'll try again. Unless they realize you caught them. I nodded. Which means I need to act normal, like I didn't notice. Claire stood up. I'll make coffee. This is going to take a while. She left. I heard the kitchen sounds, water running, the coffee maker beeping. I stared at the documents on my desk. Emma was 32, smart, ambitious, always had been. She'd gone to a good school, gotten her MBA, married a guy with a better job than mine. They had a nice house, nice cars, nice life. Not nice enough, apparently. Derek was 40, finance background, worked for a mid-size investment firm, made decent money, not great money. The kind of money where you can see the next level but can't quite reach it. Together, they decided I had something they needed, and they decided to take it. I should have felt something. Anger, betrayal, hurt. I mostly felt tired. Claire came back with 2 mugs, black coffee, no sugar. She set one in front of me and kept the other. Here's what I think, she said. They need you to sign something current within the next month, maybe sooner. Something about the timing feels urgent. Why? Because sloppy people aren't usually sloppy unless they're under pressure. Emma's careful, Derek's paranoid. They wouldn't make this many mistakes unless they had a deadline. What kind of deadline? Claire sipped her coffee. When's your next physical? December. When's the trust review? I thought about it. January, beginning of the year. When's your retirement eligibility? 57. Which is? March. Claire nodded. They're scared you're going to restructure everything before one of those dates. That's the pressure. She was right. I could see it now. Emma and Derek weren't just being greedy. They were being preemptive. They thought I was about to lock them out. They're not completely wrong, I said. I was planning to update everything in January. But you already did. Yeah. So they're chasing something that's already gone. I smiled. Couldn't help it. Pretty much. Claire didn't smile. This isn't funny. I know. These are your kids. I know that too. She looked at me over the rim of her mug. How far are you willing to go? How far are they? I asked first. I thought about it. Really thought about it. Far enough that they can't do this again. To me or anyone else. That's not an answer. Yes, it is. Claire finished her coffee. Okay. Then we need to know more. Who's helping them? What they're planning. How they think they're going to get you to sign. Agreed. And we need to be ready when they make the next move. How do we do that? Claire looked at the clock. It's late. Tomorrow you go to work like nothing happened. I'll make some calls. Who? People I used to work with. The kind who don't ask questions. I should have asked what she meant. I didn't. 32 years of marriage means you trust the person across from you, even when they're saying something that sounds like the opening line of a crime novel. All right, I said. We sat there for another minute, not talking, just being in the same room. Then Claire stood up, kissed the top of my head, and went upstairs. I stayed in my office, read through the documents again, made notes, started a timeline. Somewhere out there, Emma and Derek thought they were winning. They weren't, but they didn't know it yet. I got to work at 6:45, same as always. The facility was quiet, just the overnight security guard finishing his shift and the early janitorial crew moving through the halls. I liked this time of day. The building felt honest before everyone else showed up. My office was on the 3rd floor, corner space with windows facing the loading docks. I could see every delivery truck that came in, every shipment that went out. 28 years of watching boxes move had taught me that everything worth knowing eventually passes through a loading dock. I made coffee in the break room, the good stuff I kept in my desk, not the swill the company bought in bulk. While the machine dripped and hissed, I checked my phone. One missed call from an unknown number. No voicemail. My computer took 2 minutes to boot up. I logged into the system and pulled the schedule for the week. 3 major deliveries. 1 equipment inspection. A safety training that nobody wanted to attend, but everyone had to. Normal week. My phone rang. Not my cell. The desk line. I picked up. Facilities. Mr. Brennan? A woman's voice. Professional. Unfamiliar. Speaking. This is Jennifer Walsh from Apex Financial Services. I'm calling to confirm an appointment. I don't have an appointment with you. My records show that your daughter, Emma Brennan Price, scheduled a consultation on your behalf for this Thursday at 2 p.m. I wrote down the name of the firm. What kind of consultation? Estate planning and asset management. We were told you wanted to discuss your retirement portfolio. Who told you that? Your daughter. She said you'd asked her to help coordinate because of some recent health concerns. I let the silence stretch. Jennifer Walsh filled it. If this isn't a good time, we can certainly reschedule. I just wanted to confirm that you received the preliminary documents we sent. What documents? We emailed them to the address on file 3 days ago. They should have included our service overview and a questionnaire about your current assets. What email address? She read it off. It was my personal email, the one I used for online shopping and spam filters, the one Emma had access to because she'd helped me set it up 5 years ago. I didn't get anything, I said. Oh. She sounded genuinely confused. Let me check our system. Hold on. I heard typing, more typing. Then she came back on the line. It shows as delivered, no bounce back, but if you didn't receive it, I can resend. Don't bother, I said. I'll call my daughter and sort it out. Are you sure? I can send it to a different address if that's easier. I'm sure. Thank you for calling. Of course. And Mr. Brennan? If you do decide you'd like to move forward with the consultation, just give us a call. Our number's on the website. She hung up. I stared at the phone for 10 seconds. Then I logged into my email. The spam folder had 43 messages. I scrolled through them, found the one from Apex Financial Services dated 3 days ago. The subject line read, Requested Information, Estate Planning Review. I opened it. Standard corporate template, logo at the top, 3 paragraphs of polite introduction, a link to download the documents. I didn't click the link. Instead, I forwarded the email to myself at my work address. Then I deleted it from my personal account. Not just deleted. Permanently deleted. The kind of deleted that doesn't show up in trash folders. My office door was still open. I got up and closed it. Locked it. Then I called Claire. She answered on the first ring. What happened? Emma made an appointment for me, I said. Financial services firm, Thursday at 2. Without asking you. She told them I had health concerns. Claire was quiet for 3 seconds. They're building a narrative. That's what it looks like. What firm? I told her. She wrote it down. I could hear the pen scratching. I'll check them out, she said. See if they're legitimate or if Derek knows someone there. You think he does? I think people don't just pick a random firm out of the phone book. There's a connection somewhere. What about your calls yesterday? I talked to an old colleague. She knows someone in corporate investigations, discreet work, background checks mostly. I gave her Emma and Derek's information. Should have something by tonight. What's this going to cost? Not money, Claire said. Favors. I'll handle it. I heard something in the background on her end. A door closing. Movement. Where are you? I asked. Library. I'm using their computer. Less traceable. Claire. I'm being careful. You should be too. Check your office. Make sure nothing's been disturbed. Why would it be disturbed? Because if I were Emma and Derek, I'd want to know what you know, and they know where you work. She had a point. I'll check, I said. Call me if you find anything. Otherwise, I'll see you tonight. She hung up. I sat at my desk and looked around. Everything was where I'd left it. Coffee mug, stapler, 3-ring binder with the supply chain protocols, a framed photo of Claire from our anniversary trip 2 years ago. But Claire was right. If someone wanted to search my office, this would be the time. Early morning, before anyone else arrived. I checked the drawers. Nothing obviously out of place. Files still in order. The lock on my filing cabinet was intact, no scratches around the keyhole. The computer was harder to check. I didn't know how to look for spyware or keyloggers or whatever people use these days, but I knew someone who did. I picked up my desk phone and dialed extension 472. Marcus picked up. "Ait. It's Patrick. You got a minute?" "For you?" "Always. What's up?" "I need you to check my computer. Make sure nobody's installed anything weird." "Weird how?" "Monitoring software, remote access, that kind of thing." Marcus was quiet for a second. "You think someone's spying on you?" "Just being cautious." "All right. I can swing by in an hour. Got a ticket to close first." "Thanks." "No problem. Hey, happy birthday. Heard it was yesterday." "Yeah, thanks." I hung up. An hour gave me time. I pulled up the work calendar and checked the security logs. Our building had badge access. Every time someone scanned in or out, the system recorded it. I scrolled back 3 weeks, looked for patterns. Emma had visited twice, once on a Tuesday afternoon, once on a Friday morning, both times marked as visiting Patrick Brennan. Both times she'd stayed less than 30 minutes. Derek had never visited, but someone named David Keller had scanned in 4 times in the last 2 weeks, always after hours, always using a contractor badge issued by our facilities department. I didn't recognize the name. I pulled up the contractor database. David Keller, consultant, hired through a third-party agency for a compliance review. Approved by me. Except I hadn't approved any compliance review. I checked the approval signature, digital signature, my name, my authorization code. The date was 3 weeks ago, the day after Emma's first visit. I leaned back in my chair, felt the pieces starting to fit together. Emma visits. Friendly daughter checking on dad. Probably asks to use my computer while I'm in a meeting. Maybe says she needs to print something. Or check her email real quick. She gets my authorization code, either watches me type it or finds it written down somewhere. Then Derek uses the code to hire a fake contractor, someone who can access the building after hours without raising questions. And what would that contractor look for? Files, documents, anything that would tell them what I actually had, what I'd already changed, what they needed to get control of. I pulled up the security camera footage. Our system kept 30 days of rolling footage from key areas. I found the angle that covered my office door. First visit from David Keller, October 8th, 9:47 p.m. He scans in, walks directly to my office, uses a key. I don't give out keys to my office. Only security and the head of maintenance have copies. The footage showed him entering. He was inside for 16 minutes. When he left, he was carrying nothing. Second visit, October 11th, 10:15 p.m. Same pattern, 19 minutes inside. Third visit, October 15th, 11:03 p.m. 22 minutes. Fourth visit, October 20th, 10:31 p.m. This time he was inside for 38 minutes. Each visit was longer, like he was getting more comfortable, or like he'd found something and was taking his time. I checked the date of his last visit. Emma was sitting on the front porch. She stood up when I parked. "We need to talk," she said. Claire was at the door. She looked at me. I nodded. She stayed inside but didn't close the door. "How'd you know?" I asked. "Derek called me. He's freaking out." "He should be. Dad, what did you do?" "I filed a police report." Her face went white. "You what?" "I filed a police report for the break-ins at my office, for the computer tampering, for everything." "Are you insane?" "No, I'm protecting myself. You're destroying us. You destroyed yourselves. She came down the steps, stood in front of me. You don't know what you're doing. Derek could go to jail. Derek should go to jail. He broke the law. He was trying to help. He was trying to save himself. There's a difference. You don't understand the pressure he's under. I understand he's in debt. I understand he thought my money could solve his problems. And I understand he was willing to commit crimes to get it. Emma's hands were shaking. Please, please don't do this. We'll fix it. We'll pay back anything we took. We'll make it right. You didn't take anything, because I caught you first. Then there's no harm. No harm, Dad. You can drop the charges. I won't. Why? Why are you being so cruel? Cruel? You think I'm being cruel? You tried to steal from me, Emma. You and Derek. You lied to me. You spied on me. You brought me to that meeting to pressure me into signing over control. And now you're standing on my porch asking me to let it go? We're family. Family doesn't do what you did. She stepped back. Tears were running down her face. I didn't know. I swear I didn't know about the break-ins or the computer thing. Derek did that on his own. But you knew about the rest. She didn't answer. You knew about the debt, I said. You knew about the meeting. You knew about the document at my birthday dinner. You knew, and you went along with it. Because I love him. Because he's my husband, and he needed help, and I didn't know what else to do. You could have asked me, honestly, without all the lies. Would you have helped? I don't know, but I deserved the chance to decide. Emma wiped her face. If Derek goes to jail, I lose everything. The house, the car, everything. Do you understand that? Yes. And you're okay with it? I'm not okay with any of this, but I'm not backing down. She looked at me like she was seeing me for the first time. I don't know who you are anymore. I'm the same person I've always been. You just never paid attention. Emma got in her car, didn't say goodbye, drove away fast enough that the tires squealed. Claire came outside. She's not going to forgive you. I know. Are you okay with that? I don't have a choice. We went inside. I sat on the couch. Claire sat next to me. What happens now? She asked. We wait. The police investigate. They build a case. If they can prove Derek hired the contractor, they arrest him. How long? Richard said weeks, maybe months. And in the meantime? In the meantime, Emma hates me. Derek panics. And we see what they do next. You think they'll do something else? I think desperate people do desperate things. Claire took my hand. Patrick, if this gets dangerous, it won't. You don't know that. I know Derek. He's not violent. He's just stupid. Stupid people can be dangerous. She was right. I knew she was right. I'll be careful, I said. Promise me. I promise. That night, my phone rang. Unknown number. I answered. Patrick Brennan? Yes. This is Detective Sarah Mills. I'm handling your case. Can you come in tomorrow to answer some follow-up questions? Sure. What time? 10 a.m., station on 5th Street. I'll be there. She hung up. Claire looked at me. They're moving fast. Good. The next morning, I was at the station at 9:45. Detective Mills met me in the lobby. She was younger than I expected, maybe mid-30s, with sharp eyes and a firm handshake. Thanks for coming in, she said. Let's talk in here. She led me to a small interview room. Concrete walls, metal table, 2 chairs, the kind of room that made you feel guilty even if you weren't. I reviewed your evidence, she said. It's comprehensive. Security footage, logs, everything. Good. I've got a few questions. First, this contractor, David Keller. Do you have any idea who he actually is? No. The name's fake. The address is fake. He doesn't exist. But someone paid for that contractor badge. Yes. Any idea who? Derek Price, my son-in-law. Can you prove that? I have security footage showing his car in the garage the night the contractor accessed my office. That proves he was nearby. Doesn't prove he hired anyone. Then talk to the print shop where the badge was made. They might have records. Mills nodded. We're working on that. Second question. The keylogger. You said it was sending data to an external email. Do you know whose email? No. My IT guy removed it before I could trace it. That's unfortunate. Can you trace it? Maybe. If we can get the original code, we might be able to track the destination. But it's not guaranteed. What else do you need? Context. Why would your son-in-law want access to your accounts? I told her about the debt, about the estate planning meeting, about the power of attorney document at my birthday dinner. Mills took notes. So he's in financial trouble. $240,000, due in 2 weeks. And he thought your accounts could cover it. That's the theory. Do you have any direct evidence linking him to the break-ins? Just the security footage. Not enough for an arrest, but enough to investigate. I'll need to talk to him. When? Soon, tomorrow probably. I'll bring him in for questioning. Will you tell him I filed the report? He probably already knows. He does. My daughter told him. Mills looked up. Your daughter knew about this? She knew about the debt and the estate planning. I don't know if she knew about the break-ins. Do you think she was involved? I thought about Emma on the porch, her tears, her anger. I think she knew enough to be complicit, but I can't prove it. Fair enough. Last question. What's your goal here? My goal? What do you want to happen? Derek arrested. Your daughter charged? Both? Neither? I lean back. I want them to stop. I want them to know they can't do this again. I want consequences. Jail time? If that's what it takes. Mills closed her notebook. All right, I'll be in touch. We'll need a formal statement from your IT guy, and I'll need access to your security system for the full logs. I'll arrange it. She stood up. Mr. Brennan, I know this is hard. Family cases always are. But you did the right thing. Doesn't feel like it. It never does. I left the station, drove to work, tried to focus on normal things, deliveries, schedules, logistics, but my phone kept buzzing. Text from Emma. Please call me. Text from Emma. Dad, please, we need to talk. Text from Emma. Derek's lawyer wants to meet with you. I ignored them all. At lunch, Claire called. The police contacted me, she said. They want to interview me about what I know. When? This afternoon, 3 p.m. What are you going to tell them? The truth. That Derek's in debt, that Emma was involved in the estate planning meeting, that we found evidence of the break-ins. Don't mention the investigator you hired. Why not? Because it complicates things. Just stick to what we know directly. All right. After work, I went home. Claire was already there. How'd it go? I asked. Fine. They asked the same questions Mills asked you. I told them what I knew. They took notes. Did they say anything about Derek? They're bringing him in tomorrow, for questioning. Good. That night, I couldn't eat. Claire made dinner, but I just pushed food around my plate. You need to eat, she said. I'm not hungry. Patrick. I know, I just can't. She didn't push it. At 8 p.m., there was a knock on the door. I looked through the peephole. Derek. Don't open it, Claire said. I have to. I opened the door. Derek was standing there in jeans and a wrinkled shirt. He looked like he hadn't slept in days. Can I come in? He asked. No. Patrick, please. 5 minutes. That's all I'm asking. I stepped onto the porch, closed the door behind me. Say what you need to say. I'm sorry. I know that doesn't fix anything, but I'm sorry. I made a terrible mistake. I thought I could fix everything without anyone getting hurt. People always get hurt, Derek. I know that now. But I'm asking you, please, don't let this destroy Emma. She didn't do anything wrong. This was all me. She went along with it. Because she loves me. Because she thought she was helping. But she didn't know about the break-ins. I swear to you, she didn't know. I believe you. He looked surprised. You do? Yeah. I think you lied to her, just like you lied to me. Then drop the charges, please. I'll do whatever you want. I'll pay you back. I'll go to therapy. I'll turn myself in. Just don't drag Emma into this. Emma dragged herself into this when she brought me that document at dinner. She didn't know it was wrong. Yes, she did. I told her it was outdated. She lied about where it came from. Derek's shoulders sagged. What do you want from me? I want you to stop. I want you to face the consequences, and I want Emma to understand that what you both did was wrong. She does understand. No, she doesn't. She thinks I'm being cruel. She thinks this is about revenge. Isn't it? No. It's about justice. Derek turned to leave. Stopped. You're going to lose her. You know that, right? After this, she'll never speak to you again. Maybe, but I'll still have my integrity. Is that enough? I didn't answer. He left. Inside, Claire was waiting. What did he want? He wanted me to drop the charges. What did you say? No. She nodded. Good. The next day, Derek was brought in for questioning. Mills called me afterward. He lawyered up, she said. Wouldn't answer anything without his attorney present. Is that bad? It's smart, but it also makes him look guilty. Is he? I think so, but I can't prove it yet. We traced the print shop where the contractor badge was made. They remember someone matching Derek's description. Paid cash, didn't leave a name. That's not enough? It's circumstantial. We need more. What about the keylogger? Still working on tracing the email. Forensics is slow. So what now? We keep digging. In the meantime, be careful. Derek's scared. Scared people do unpredictable things. She hung up. I sat at my desk, stared out the window. This wasn't how I thought it would go. I thought I'd file the report, the police would investigate, and Derek would face consequences. Clean, simple, done. But it wasn't clean. It wasn't simple, and it definitely wasn't done. My phone buzzed, text from an unknown number. You're making a mistake. Drop the charges or you'll regret it. I stared at the message, then showed it to Claire. That's a threat, she said. Yeah. You need to tell Mills. I will. I forwarded the message to Detective Mills. She called back immediately. We're going to trace that number, she said. In the meantime, change your routine. Don't go places alone. Keep your doors locked. You think Derek sent it? I think someone did, and until we know who, treat it seriously. I hung up. Claire was looking at me. This is getting out of control. I know. Maybe we should stop. Drop the charges. Move on. No. Patrick. No. They don't get to threaten me into backing down. That's exactly what they want. And what if they do more than threaten? Then I deal with it. How? I don't know yet, but I'm not running. Claire shook her head. You're stubborn. You married me anyway. I'm starting to question that decision. She was smiling, but I could see the worry in her eyes. That night, I didn't sleep, kept thinking about the text, about Derek's face on the porch, about Emma's tears, about how far this was going to go before it ended. The convention center was hosting a regional healthcare conference. 200 vendors, 300 attendees. Perfect cover for what I needed to do. I'd gotten the invitation 3 weeks ago. Annual event for people in medical supply logistics. Normally I skip these things, but this year I needed to be there. Because Derek was going to be there too. I didn't know how I knew. Call it instinct. Call it pattern recognition. But when I saw the attendee list online and spotted Derek's firm as a sponsor, I understood. He was making moves, probably trying to line up funding, probably desperate. And desperate people made mistakes in public places. I parked 3 blocks away, walked in through the main entrance at 9 a.m. Registration desk was busy. I picked up my badge, clipped it to my jacket, and headed for the exhibition floor. The space was massive. High ceilings, bright lights, rows of booths, selling everything from surgical supplies to IT systems. I walked slowly, scanning faces. Found him at 9:47. Derek was at a booth near the back, talking to a man in an expensive suit. Both of them had that tight, urgent energy of people who needed something from each other. I stayed 2 rows over, close enough to watch, far enough not to be seen. They talked for 10 minutes. Then, expensive suit guy handed Derek a business card. They shook hands. Derek walked away looking relieved. I followed. He went to the coffee station, got a cup, stood there checking his phone. I got in line behind him. "Derek," I said. He spun around. Coffee sloshed over the rim of his cup. "What are you doing here?" "Same thing you are, working. You need to leave. This is a public event." "Patrick, I'm serious. Leave me alone." "Or what? You'll send me another threatening text?" His face went blank. "I don't know what you're talking about." "The text from yesterday, the one telling me to drop the charges." "That wasn't me." "Then who was it?" "I don't know, but it wasn't me. I swear." I studied his face. He looked scared, genuinely scared. Either he was telling the truth, or he was a better liar than I thought. "Fine," I said. "But if I get another one, I'm assuming it's you." "It's not." I walked away, felt him watching me. Let him. I spent the next hour moving through the exhibition floor, talked to vendors I knew, shook hands, made small talk, normal conference behavior. But I was tracking Derek, watching who he talked to, where he went, what he was doing. At 11:15, he met with the expensive suit guy again, this time at a quiet corner near the emergency exit. They were there for 20 minutes. When they separated, expensive suit guy looked unhappy. Derek went to the bathroom. I waited outside. When he came out, I was blocking the hallway. "We need to talk," I said. "No, we don't." "Yes, we do, because whatever you're doing here, whatever deal you're trying to make, it's not going to work. You don't know anything about what I'm doing. I know you're trying to raise money. I know you're running out of time, and I know you're getting desperate." Derek looked around. The hallway was empty. "Get out of my way." "Not until you tell me what's really going on." "I don't owe you an explanation." "Actually, you do. Because you tried to steal from me, because you broke into my office, because you're the reason I'm at a police station every other day." "I didn't steal anything. You tried." He stepped closer. "You want to know what's really going on? Fine. I'm drowning. I'm about to lose everything. My job, my house, my marriage, everything. And the only way out was your money. I thought if I could just borrow against your accounts just temporarily, I could pay back the debt and fix everything. So you decided to take control without asking. Because you would have said no." "Damn right I would have said no." "Exactly. So what was I supposed to do?" "Not commit crimes. That's a start." Derek's hands were shaking. "You don't understand pressure. You've never understood it. Everything's always been easy for you." "Easy? I've worked the same job for 28 years. I've saved every dollar. I've never taken a shortcut. You think that's easy?" "Easier than watching your life collapse." "Your life is collapsing because you made bad choices. Don't blame me for that." "I'm not blaming you. I'm just asking you to understand." "I understand perfectly. You're selfish, you're entitled, and you thought you could get away with it." Derek's face flushed. "You know what? You're right. I did think I could get away with it. Because you're predictable. You're boring. You don't notice anything unless it's right in front of you." "I noticed everything." "Yeah, you did. And that's what really pisses me off. You weren't supposed to notice. You were supposed to just sign the documents and move on with your life. But you had to be smart about it. You had to catch me." "Sorry to disappoint." He shoved past me. I let him go, but I followed. Derek went back to the exhibition floor, walked fast, not looking back. I stayed 20 feet behind. He stopped at another booth, talked to another man. This one younger, sharper, with the look of someone who made money off other people's problems. They moved to a service corridor. I followed, staying in the shadows. The corridor led to a loading dock. Concrete, metal doors, industrial smell. Derek and the younger guy stood near a stack of pallets. "I don't have time for this," the younger guy said. "I just need 2 more weeks," Derek replied. "You needed 2 more weeks a month ago." "I'm working on it." "Work faster." "I'm trying, but my father-in-law filed a police report. Everything's frozen." "That's your problem, not mine. If I can't access his accounts, I can't pay you. Then you're in default. Please, just give me more time." The younger guy stepped closer. "You know what happens when people default on us?" "I know." "Do you? Because I don't think you do. I think you think this is all just paperwork and lawyers. But it's not. It's real, and it's going to hurt." Derek backed up. "Are you threatening me?" "I'm explaining reality. I'll get the money, I swear. You've got 1 week. After that, we move on you." "Move on me how?" "You'll find out." The younger guy left through a side door. Derek stood there, breathing hard. I stepped out of the shadows. "Who was that?" I asked. Derek jumped. "Jesus! How long have you been there?" "Long enough. Who was that?" "None of your business." "It is if he's threatening you." "He's not." "Derek, who is he?" "A private lender. I borrowed money when the bank said no. Thought I could pay it back before they came looking." "How much?" "50,000. On top of the 240? Yes. You're an idiot." "I know. And now he's threatening to hurt you." "He's just talking." "No, he's not. I heard him. He's serious." Derek slumped against the wall. "What do you want me to say? I'm screwed. I've been screwed for months. This is just one more thing." "Does Emma know about him?" "No. She knows about the investment debt. She doesn't know about the private loan." "You need to tell her." "I can't." "Why not?" "Because if she knows how bad it really is, she'll leave me." "She's going to leave you anyway when this all comes out." "Maybe. But at least this way I have a few more days." I looked at him. Really looked at him. He was a mess. Wrinkled clothes, dark circles under his eyes, hands still shaking. "Derek, you need to go to the police." "And tell them what?" "That someone's threatening you. That you're in danger." "I'm not going to the police." "Why not?" "Because if I do, they'll ask questions, and those questions will lead back to you, and then everything gets worse." "It can't get worse." "Yes, it can. Trust me." He walked away, headed back toward the exhibition floor. I stayed in the loading dock for a minute. Thought about what I'd just heard. Derek wasn't just desperate. He was terrified. And the people he owed money to weren't bankers or lawyers. They were the kind of people who made threats and followed through. I pulled out my phone, called Mills. "Derek's in danger," I said. "What kind of danger?" "He borrowed money from a private lender, the kind who doesn't ask nicely for payment." "How do you know?" "I just heard them talking. At the convention center. Guy said Derek has 1 week, or they're moving on him." "Did you get a name?" "No, but I can describe him." "Do it." I gave her the description. She wrote it down. "I'll look into it," she said. "But Patrick, you need to stay out of this. If Derek's involved with loan sharks, things could get violent." "That's why I called you." "Good. Let us handle it. Don't follow him anymore." "I'm already at the convention. I'll stay until it's over. Then I'll leave." "Fine, but be careful." She hung up. I went back to the exhibition floor. Derek was gone. I checked the registration desk. He'd left the building. I spent the rest of the conference making notes. Who Derek had talked to, what booths he'd visited, anything that might be useful. By the time I left at 4 p.m., I had a list of 6 people he'd met with. 3 vendors, 2 financiers, 1 consultant. I wrote down names, companies, anything I could remember. Claire was waiting when I got home. "How was it?" she asked. Interesting. I told her everything, the conversations, the loading dock, the private lender. She listened without interrupting. When I finished, she was quiet for a long time. This is worse than we thought, she finally said. Yeah. Derek's not just in debt, he's in with dangerous people. Looks like it. And if they come after him, they might come after Emma too. Or you. I hadn't thought about that. Why would they come after me? Because you're the reason Derek can't pay. If they think taking you out of the picture would give Derek access to your money, they might try. That's a stretch, is it? These people don't think like we do. They think in terms of leverage and pressure. And right now, you're the pressure point. She was right. I knew she was right. So what do we do? I asked. We finish this. Fast. Before it gets any uglier. How? Claire pulled out her phone. I've been thinking about that. We need to force Derek's hand, make him confess everything, get it on record. How do we do that? We give him one more chance, one more meeting, but this time we control the environment. What kind of environment? Public, recorded, with witnesses. He'll never agree to that. He will, if he thinks it's his only option. I looked at her. You're scary when you're strategic. You married me for a reason. Yeah, this is it. She smiled. Not a happy smile. The kind of smile you make before going into battle. Let me make some calls, she said. By tomorrow we'll have a plan. That night, I barely slept. Kept thinking about Derek in that loading dock. The younger guy's face, the threats. This wasn't just about money anymore. It was about survival, and I needed to make sure I survived.